In the city of East London, Tom leads a relatively normal life and spends most of his time with his best friend Danny and harbors a crush on Lucy. However, his days are often troubled by Eugene, a relentless bully who constantly torments him. At home, Tom lives with his grandmother as his parents passed away long ago. One night he goes to meet up with Lucy at her flat so they can study together for their exams. Seeing her door is open, he cautiously steps inside to see some criminals exiting Lucy's room after having attacked her. Before Tom knows it, they spot him and immediately give chase. Panicked, he tries calling for help on his phone, but a gunshot rings out and the bullet goes through his phone and into his head, knocking him unconscious. When Tom wakes up in the hospital, his grandmother is by his side. The doctor explains that while surgery saved his life, his brain suffered extensive damage, and what's worse is that the fragments of his phone remain embedded in his skull, and removing them would be too dangerous because another operation could kill him. Days later, Tom is discharged from the hospital, but the trauma of that night haunts him. He is racked with guilt for failing to help Lucy, yet as he settles back into daily life, he notices strange things happening. He can hear people's phone conversations without touching a device and perceives digital data streaming through the city as if it were tangible. It's as though he has become a living electronic device, and the fragments of his phone inside his brain have altered him in ways no one could have predicted. Determined to make things right, Tom visits Lucy and apologizes for failing to save her. However, she remains indifferent, knowing the worst had already happened before he arrived. She also refuses to reveal her attackers' identities. Despite this, Tom vows to track them down and make them pay. As time passes, his powers continue to evolve. He can now intercept phone calls, visualize digital information, and even hack into other devices from a distance. One night he looks out his window to see streams of digital currency flowing through the city and realizes that his mind can now process information at an astonishing rate. When he returns to school, Tom confides in Danny, suspecting that Eugene and his gang were involved in Lucy's assault. However, Danny dismisses the possibility and insists that while Eugene is a bully, he wouldn't go that far. Determined to uncover the truth, Tom secretly accesses Eugene's phone during class, and what he finds leaves him seething with rage. A video of Lucy's attack is stored on the device. Overcome with fury, he concentrates his power on the phone and causes it to explode. That night, Tom attends a friend's party where Eugene and his gang are also present. Now certain of their guilt, he confronts them and demands answers. But before things escalate further, Danny steps in and pulls him away. Later, Tom visits Lucy, and as they stand on the balcony, they spot Eugene and his gang passing below. Seeing Lucy's expression darkening, Tom knows immediately they are the ones who attacked her. The next day, Tom begins his mission of revenge. He tracks Eugene and his gang through their phones and monitors their every move. One night he discovers one of the boys named Cass watching pornography in secret and gets an idea. The next day during a school assembly, as the teacher is giving a presentation, Tom hacks into the projector and broadcasts a video of Cass's private moment. Humiliated, Cass becomes the laughingstock of the school. Later that day, Tom visits Lucy and tells her what happened, and she starts laughing for the first time since the incident. The two go outside to enjoy a meal by the river, where Lucy admits to Tom that out of everyone, he's been the only one who's come to see her. On the way home, they're confronted by Eugene and his gang, who are convinced that Tom is the one who has been terrorizing them all this time. Just as they are about to attack him, Tom sends them an anonymous message claiming that they have the wrong person. This causes the gang to second-guess themselves, and they start searching for the actual person behind all of this, while Tom and Lucy seize the opportunity to escape. But despite the close call, Tom refuses to abandon his mission. Later that night, as Eugene and his gang hijack a car, Tom suddenly locks them inside and sets the vehicle on fire. Speaking through the car radio, he demands to know why they attacked Lucy. Terrified, Cass breaks down and confesses that they were acting on the orders of someone named Cuts. Satisfied with the answer, Tom lets them go, just moments before the car explodes. Determined to confront this mysterious figure, Tom traces Cuts' location and heads straight there. Inside a lavish apartment, a group of thugs lounge around watching TV, and to Tom's shock, Danny is among them. Thinking fast, he hacks the television and plays an embarrassing video of Cuts' car being urinated on. As the gang rushes outside to investigate, Tom sneaks into the house and uses his powers to destroy every electronic device in sight. While searching the place, he discovers a large hidden stash of drugs and takes them. But he doesn't stop there. He repackages the drugs into smaller packets and plants them in the living spaces of Eugene and his gang. Then he hacks into the police database and anonymously reports them for drug dealing. His trap works perfectly. The police raid their homes and arrest them. Meanwhile, Cuts goes to withdraw money from an ATM only to find his bank account is empty, another one of Tom's tricks. Later, Cuts receives a call from his boss Elman, who threatens him, ordering him to catch the troublemaker interfering with their operations. From a rooftop, Tom listens in on their conversation, using his mind to intercept the call. Curious, he searches for information on Elman, but there's nothing, not a single record. It's as if Elman doesn't exist. Growing desperate, Cuts orders his men to destroy all electronic devices in the area, hoping to cut off the hacker's influence. But they have no idea that Tom's power has evolved and no longer needs electricity to hack. Later, Tom learns of a major drug deal and follows Cuts through the empty streets of the city. However, after a while he loses track of him. Cuts has ditched his phone to avoid being traced. Not giving up, Tom hacks into a satellite and successfully pinpoints Cuts' location once again. Upon finding the drug deal, Tom swiftly downloads martial arts knowledge from the internet, and armed with his newfound skills, he easily overpowers the guards before opening the large stash of drugs and setting them on fire. But he gets ambushed by Cuts and his men, who brutally beat him to the brink of death. In a desperate move, Tom unleashes a high-frequency sound wave to knock them out and escape. The next morning he wakes up by a creek. Meanwhile, at school, Lucy waits for him, expecting to take their exams together as promised. But by the time Tom arrives, it's too late, as the exams are over and Lucy is disappointed in him. Just then they hear a commotion and turn around to see that Cass has taken his own life. The shocking sight leaves everyone stunned. Later, Tom meets up with Danny, hoping for a normal conversation, but Danny is seething. He blames the hacker for interfering in their lives, believing his actions led to Cass's death. Ridden with guilt, Tom makes the decision to end his mission. Deciding that his powers also have to go, he visits the doctor and asks for the cell phone fragments to be removed from his brain. However, the doctor reveals that it is still impossible, as removing the pieces would instantly kill him. Distraught, Tom returns home only to find himself being confronted in the living room by Cuts and his men, who are led by none other than Elman. Elman reveals that he knows everything about Tom, his identity, his abilities, and where he lives. To prove his control, he shows him a video of Lucy being held hostage by Eugene and his gang. He then gives Tom an ultimatum: comply with his orders or Lucy dies. Here it is revealed that the one who leaked Tom's identity was none other than Danny, who betrayed him for a few £100s. Elman then takes out his phone and orders Tom to fill up his bank account. With no other choice, Tom obliges and hacks into the Bank of England servers with his mind and transfers money into Elman's account. However, while doing so, he secretly hacks Eugene's phone and calls the police. Moments later, the police arrive, but Eugene and his gang are one step ahead and escape with Lucy. Soon, Elman and Tom also arrive at their hideout. Once again, Elman orders Tom to continue filling his bank account. But Tom has something else in mind. Summoning all his strength, he focuses his power and blows up Elman's phone, creating a brief distraction before unleashing his abilities and taking down the thugs one by one. He then chases after Elman, and the two engage in a final showdown in the pouring rain, where Tom discharges a high-voltage electrical blast that instantly kills Elman, just moments before he collapses from the overexertion. A few days later, after recovering from his injuries with his grandmother by his side, Tom returns home. Danny tries to apologize to him, but he isn't interested and simply walks away. As the movie ends, Tom and Lucy meet up for a romantic dinner atop a building, symbolizing the start of a new chapter in their lives.